What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Swolecast. I don't even know what we're going to call this Swolecast. The legit or bit Swolecast? I don't know, just the offseason Swolecast. Good start. On the show is Davis Maddock. Davis, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
Dan Gasper. Dan, say hello.
What's going on, fellas?
And a man of many hats, Peter Overzet. Peter?
Thanks for having me, Dave. Great to be here.
I don't even have a mic, but I'm going to start doing that when I'm making a point now.
I've noticed that Peter has been, if for these recent bits, he's just got like plain hats on. Did you buy like a multi-pack for the bit box, Peter?
I actually bought this one on Etsy for personal use. I didn't think of it as a bit hat. I just was trying to find more plain hats. I just, no free ads on here. I don't know what soccer company Davis is promoting right now. I mean, Tuttle's shilling for FanDuel, but not me, man.
This is my team, bro. The Bundesliga is back, so I need everyone to know I'm not a fake hipster. I've been a fan, bro.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I do like how we've got all sorts of DFS sports like going on right now. And I say sports like I use that term rather loosely.
You've been grinding, Dave? You've been up grinding these slates, bro?
No.
Dave, honest question. What was the last DFS contest you played?
This is a good question.
NBA.
No. The night of
the Rudy Gobert night?
No, the week before I went to Disney. So like a week before that.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
What different lives you and I lead, David.
What site do you work for, Dave?
I mean,
dude, he's swamped. He's swamped.
I've been getting out the graphics and working on the ads. So I know like what's going on. Like I know that there is a League of Legends, a Rocket League. Like we don't have content for Rocket League, but we got the optimizer.
I got asked to do Rocket League content last week. I'm like, I'm not quite up to par on that one yet.
So the thing is Rocket League, like the prize pools are like smaller than the Outlaw Tour, and there's already confirmed been one slate rigged that was fixed, that was ran on DraftKings. So the toxicity in Rocket League, Peter, it's a real problem.
There was a gathering of negativity on Twitter today when Dan Buck quote tweeted a tweet to basically said the Outlaw Tour, the total purse is $45K and first place on DraftKings is $50K. So Brett Colson kind of got flamed by Dan.
Which it was like the worst take ever because these dudes playing the Outlaw Tour, it's not like they're playing this for a living. Like they're just trying to go out and play a couple holes of golf with their buddies. Like
it was a bad look.
Yeah, this is not like.
It just is intellectually a stupid argument. Be like the Bales push-up challenge is set up to be fraudulent because Bales only has 2,500, but the overall handle on the whole thing is $1 million. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. Well, and if anything, it's going to drive more revenue to them eventually anyways.
Yeah, sponsors got to be out the
I mean, they don't think they've ever had a sponsored event until now. And now all the events have sponsors.
Capitalism.
It's a real thing.
Gotta love it. All right.
Someone mute Kitchen.
What?
Don't be touting capitalism on my show.
My show. Oh, my.
Over here.
Wow. Do you think
Davis
this is the Schmake cast, brother? This isn't. No free ads.
All right. Let's go ahead and just update, to get out of the way, update last week's poll question.
Put it up, Devin. Throw it up on the screen.
Throw it up. Give us the graphic, bro.
All right. The question was, who drafted the best squad in the Swolecast rookie draft? The winner, Peter Overzet, hashtag fins up.
Here's the thing. Peter won because he broke the rules, right? Like, because it was a super flex draft, but only in spirit, but not actually. But you only start one quarterback, so really he rigged it to his purposes.
So he got 33%. Tuttle with the all college team got 26.7%. Davis got 26.1%, and I got last. So
What happened, Kitchen?
How far behind were you? Was it close?
14.2%. And you know what? It was honestly an eye-opening poll because I feel like it got turned into a popularity contest and not an intellectual contest.
That's even worse for you, Dave.
You think they were disingenuously voting?
Listen, you've got Ryan McDowell, the father of Dynasty football, just like he was befuddled. He was befuddled that I was able to get the team that I did in a 4-man draft. Guys like Carl Safchik, like these guys that are just like industry experts, just wondering how I got the team I did, and yet it's not a popularity contest.
You know what Ryan was more befuddled by? You claiming to be the godfather of
that was
Superflex
the best. that was the best when he was like, "Oh, actually, no, I invented this, Dave." Tough scenes, buddy.
I'm gonna switch to Superflex redraft best ball premium tight end and see.
So just like the standard FFPC contest.
Hey, it's Ryan's son's birthday, Ryan's son's birthday.
Yeah, Grayson.
Yeah, Grayson's birthday.
Should we send it's Grayson's 7 years old, so let's just
say happy birthday now, and then we can clip it. And
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday,
Grayson.
Tough scenes
from the Swolecast.
And Dave, isn't this also when you want to announce that you're launching a new set of Dynasty Leagues called Hyperactives?
No, I mean, listen, Ryan says that he kind of invented it. I don't know if he did kind of invent it. I just, I brought it to the masses. So,
really you're saying you made it more of a popularity contest?
I see what you did there.
Tough scenes.
All right. This poll was crazy because Tuttle didn't even have a quarterback, and it's supposedly
dude, he took Jalen Hurts.
I took the best quarterback, the most valuable quarterback on the board.
Team college production, dude. This shows to me that Kitchen was not grinding these college football slates.
No, I was when I would drive up to Kentucky, but he was a college production guy, but he's not even going to be starting until week 7 or week 8 this season. So.
I did have a question for you, Dave. Is your goal with this long gone Vaughn thing to get a RotoWear shirt? It feels like that's kind of your goal.
If I wanted a RotoWear shirt, Peter, I would get it.
Okay, let's see it. Let's see if he'll toss you a bone with a long one.
If I wanted a RotoWear shirt, I would get it.
What would have been the Zach Stacy shirt? Like he's so good you play him on his bye week?
I don't know. I'm probably not going to have the Long Gone Vaughn shirt as my request, though. My request is going to be, if I want to talk about you, I'll talk about you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Hey, that's just one man's opinion. That's just one man's opinion.
That's going to go over everybody's head.
Yeah.
It was really good, though.
For people
Let's go ahead and say it. Davis called out Jeff Manns, and Jeff talked about you on his show.
So did he actually? Do we have?
Well, we don't know that for sure.
He didn't actually. It was just some dude.
It was just some guy on Twitter. Yeah, it was just some guy.
Davis fell for the fake news. So Davis, if you would like to issue Jeff an apology right now, go for it.
I already did say sorry.
No, on the Swolecast.
I'm not going to do that.
Apology.
We're trying to make a public apology.
Wait, that guy's name is Jeff? I saw the photo and I thought it was Guy Fieri.
Listen, we can't really talk about the frosted tips. We don't
because
have any tips to frost.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't really have any tips to frost.
Do you think Jeff is going through withdrawals that he can't go to the Sunglass Hut to pick up some Oakleys these days?
Mr. Zet.
Oh, man. But the only thing there we go.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. FF Comedy Hour Kitchen.
All right.
First of all,
Kitchen.
I'll say your name whenever I want. Number 2, I don't know what I said at number 1. Number 3, have a nice day. Flex emoji.
Honestly,
Sirius XM.
At Jeff Mans, never talk about me on your show ever again.
Mans did win that whole exchange.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
No doubt.
Oh yeah, let's go to the let's go to best ball. Has anyone played in a best ball league yet? That's like redraft.
I'm in like 20, but yeah.
Some of us
You were
aren't
in
fake,
20 best
fake
ball?
fantasy sports guys, David.
Some of us actually play fantasy sports, David.
Listen, I'm hardcore. I'm in 2. I just got done with 2 rookie drafts on the same day in my Dino
my
best
God.
ball league.
Wow.
God forbid.
We 6-round drafts, wrapped it up. I've got Britt Devine already telling me
Just in the
what I need to
DMs,
do.
bro. Yeah, Britt, just in the DMs, like, hey man, I'd love to trade for Devin Singletary, but I'm not going to pay anything close to market price.
You exposed
what
the
he said.
DMs. Let's
Here's
bring
what
them
he
up.
said. Yes, here's what he said yesterday, because there's the fab budget, not fob, the fab budget that you got, and he sends me a DM. Are you looking to get some under the radar sneaky blind bid money in the insiders group as a youth move to assure all free agents? That was the message.
It sounds like he's writing copy for a radio ad.
Yes, exactly.
I got the same DM.
Are you looking for something to help you get a bigger dick? Well, then, boy, do I have the
No.
supplement for you.
Peter. Can't say that, man.
I can say whatever
This
I want. This is my
daytime.
show.
This is daytime.
No, the funniest
Right.
thing, I saw Britt was advertising a dynasty league he was trying to fill, and in the copy, it said, this should be your most important fantasy league that you're in. It was a $50 dynasty league, but it is what it is.
He said he sent me a trade, and he said, you are in contention this year. Don't miss the opportunity to win. And I said, I made the playoffs last year. Forget dynasty. I'm building an empire. And he said, well, Mike and Pump are the favorites. You will need to overcome them. And I said, I will overcome them. So there you go. As far as the best ball drafts, Davis, what are you most surprised at as far as like the picks that have been going so far, as far as the draft first couple of rounds?
So 2 weird things to me. One is that George Kittle is going ahead of Travis Kelce. I would expect that in a dynasty format. I think it's just mostly absurd in a redraft format. And then we're after the NFL draft. We're doing these best balls. The Jaguars try and trade Leonard Fournette. They sign Chris Thompson out of free agency, and Fournette is still going as like a top 35 overall pick. Like I can't imagine a circumstance in which I'm spending, a legitimately premium pick on Leonard Fournette, who might get 180 carries and 30 targets in 2020. What about you, Kitchen, and some of the drafts?
We have rankings up. We have rankings up now. The Road Grinders, the core members get the access to Jamino's rankings.
I want Kitchen's rankings.
Well,
Long gone Vaughn.
You'll have to wait.
Hey, shout out to Jamino, by the way.
He's a grinder.
He is he put the Greg Jennings video of putting the team on the back. That's Jamino right now. He's putting RG on.
He's just putting Roto Grinders, like the corporation, just on his back right now.
Yeah,
give that man a raise.
Also, want to we had a company call last week, and want to shout out one of our listeners. She is head of Better Collective US HR department, and Becky said, and I quote, "David Kitchen, you are hilarious." She said, I've been listening to some podcasts, and David Kitchen, you are hilarious. On the company-wide call.
She did.
I bet you literally were just like a pig in shit, dude.
Sounds like it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
She also shouted out the rest of your crew as well.
Oh, really? I missed that part.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The rest of my crew? Exactly. The rest of my crew. All right.
Why did I get an invite to that company call? I kept refreshing. My inbox told me. I was like, yeah, I guess I didn't need to get the old Overzet on the line for that one.
Didn't need the overzet overview on the company call.
It's a corporate call.
When they need me to fill the poker tournament, everybody wants me. The second we're about to talk long-term projections from Roto Grinders, they just toss old Peter to the wayside.
Are we? Is the DFS poker open back tonight?
Hold on, Peter. When you don't whore yourself out to 80 other podcasts and like for other people, and you're a full-time employee, you'll be on the company call.
Do you see any logos? No.
No free ads.
Can't be bought. But I can for the right price.
All right. Can we go back to these rankings? I want to talk about just one person in particular, and that is Kenyon Drake.
Going as a first-round pick right now.
Oh, man. I mean, he's ranked as number 10 guy on the board.
I think he's my number 10 guy as well.
I think that's dangerous.
I don't have it pulled up right now, but so I have him later than 10th overall. But I mean, you start looking at the running back situation, you're like, who's going to catch more passes? Kenyon Drake, Josh Jacobs, probably Kenyon Drake. You know, who's gonna get more overall touches? Like Kenyon Drake probably is a favorite to see 220-ish interactions, and I think there are a lot of guys that you do not feel that confident in.
And I don't know. I would be way more worried about the guys behind Drake than I am some of the other guys going after him. I mean, Chase Edmonds is solid, and Eno Benjamin was one of their top prospects, and it was weird that
Put the flannel on. Put the flannel on, dude. We gotta get Dynasty.
I already put it in the prop closet. I'm just saying.
You know, he's a guy who's he's faster than his 40 indicates. Say that.
I liked what I saw on the tape.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like Aaron Jones, bro. Aaron Jones is going to lose passing down work to Jamal Williams, going to lose touchdowns, goal line work to A.J. Dillon probably. And, that whole, like, Green Bay just seems like it's just going up in smoke over there with the Rodgers versus LaFleur war. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we all love him, but he probably is not going to see 200 touches this year. Most of his work is going to come as a receiver. Jonathan Taylor is going to be in a committee. Todd Gurley's going to be in a committee. Leonard Fournette's going to be in a committee. Le'Veon Bell, like all these guys. And Drake is probably just going to be the lead guy in Arizona.
I got a crazy idea. How about instead of drafting Drake, you draft a wide receiver there instead? I mean, I know that sounds crazy.
What's the thesis behind the play, Peter?
The thesis is that you do want to get one of those bell cow backs in the first 5 to 6 picks if you can, but people are drafting Drake like they know he's a bell cow back, and we don't know that for certain. There's a lot of risk there.
All right, so you're saying like Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I would take Nuke or Tyreek. I'd even consider Kelsey there if I'm, factoring in positional scarcity with best ball. I don't like talking seriously about this.
This is legit?
It's hard.
Not a bit. I mean, Devontae Adams, what odds can I get from someone on this show that Devontae Adams sees 200 targets in the year of our Lord 2020?
Huddle, how many did he have last year?
Yeah,
I mean, not very many because he missed 9 weeks last year.
Oh yeah, with the turf toe or whatever.
All right. It's time for a game we call Legit or Bit. Is it legit or is it a bit? Davis, you start. Cowboys offense with Dak Prescott this year. Rank them.
Third best.
So is Dak your QB3 then?
Yeah. They will gain the first, second, or third most yards per play and score amongst the top 5 teams in offensive points scored in 2020.
All right, so who other than the Chiefs are above them?
The Ravens.
Ravens?
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all good and well, but how does this game work?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
I vote that's legit.
Legit? Does he give the take? Is he the one saying it's legit or a bit, or is it the rest of us?
Well, yeah,
because he just made the take.
I have been sort of doing this performative bit of being like a huge Cowboys fan on Twitter, which is not really representative of how I feel. I'm dead inside mostly to the Cowboys when they lose.
Where did you get the idea of doing performative bits from?
Who could say, really? It's really just been a part of my brand for a long time. I think.
All right.
I will say, in general, Dak Prescott being everyone's QB3 is like the most basic bitch take.
It's just like, it's very obvious, and it shouldn't be considered a hot take. The people who are having hot takes now are the people who are like ranking Drew Brees as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. It's like looking at the math and saying, none of that matters or is important to me at all.
I'd say Josh Allen is number 3. MVP maybe.
I like it.
Silva, bro, drinking out of the jug.
Legit or a bit, Josh Allen, number 3 QB.
The best bit of all.
It's a bit because Josh Allen probably won't be quarterback by the end of the season.
You big Fromm guy, bro?
No, big Fromm guy. Have you seen his college production?
Coaches love him.
Coaches do love him.
Well, I mean, he was good when they had actual offensive line and playmakers. I can't believe he fell that far. All right, Tuttle, let's go with you. Legit or bit, Green Bay offense. Like, what's your take on the Green Bay offense this upcoming season?
Trash. My take. Okay, legit. I'm bringing up. Let's bring up. You mentioned the rankings. I got them up here on RG. Where do they have Devontae Adams? 1, 2, 3. Wide receiver.
He's got Devontae
4.
ranked a lot. Yeah, which is not what his ADP is right now. But yeah,
his ADP. What's his ADP at right now?
I think he might be wide receiver 2 after Michael Thomas.
That's what I've been seeing. Yeah.
I'll agree with the RG rankings here, right? Everybody sees that the market share or thinks the market share is going to go his way. It is, but how big or how many pass attempts are the Green Bay Packers actually going to throw this year? Like if their whole thing is we're drafting to run the ball, we're drafting to protect Rodgers, we're drafting to kind of slow the clock, play the clock out. He's going to get high market share, but overall the target number might not be all that high, really.
As a Green Bay homer, do you think that Aaron Rodgers is a top 10 quarterback?
As a homer, do I think Aaron Rodgers, fantasy-wise this season? No.
What about
but
IRL?
In real life?
IRL?
In real life?
In real life, yes. I'll still take him as a top 10.
It is the biggest cucklord reaction ever for the Packers to get dominated by the 49ers in the NFC Conference Championship game the way they did, and then be like, what we got to do? We just got to try and be more shitty. We just got to be more like that.
We just got to run it back with
rebuild
less weapons, and we'll be good.
It didn't work out with a 13-win season, so let's just go back to the drawing board and rebuild with a new quarterback, new offense. We got this.
It is funny Peter. that trend in drafting with, I've heard the narrative, the Raiders see Tyreek Hill get behind them multiple times, so they draft Henry Ruggs, or the Colts see Derrick Henry running over their throat, so we have to draft Jonathan Taylor. And I actually think there probably is legitimate truth to that.
100%.
Oh,
yeah. It's just like when Belichick would always draft guys or trade for guys that he had seen play a lot. Like, people like things that are familiar.
The Cowboys will always take extra Big 12 players because that's what's on TV in Dallas, and that's what Jerry watches, or Arkansas players. Like, go look at the history of Arkansas players on the Dallas Cowboys roster. They just, like, if Arkansas player gets cut, Jerry signs him. It's fate.
Isn't his son like a high school head coach or something? Or no, maybe Jerry's.
Maybe his
grandson. Yeah, maybe his grandson.
His son runs the team, kind of.
Steven.
Yeah, I think it's grandson.
Peter, does Patrick Laird make the Miami Dolphins roster this year?
Yes,
freaking dare you! What's wrong with you?
Actually, can I go off like a king right now?
Go off, king.
Sure.
Thank you. So I've got lots of messages from people being like, I'm so sorry, Peter, to hear about Matt Breida. Like, you got to be taking this really tough. What are you talking about?
What's wrong with you
This
people?
was like a 99th percentile outcome for Patrick Laird. They didn't draft a single rookie. The most capital they invested was a cheap free agent signing in Jordan Howard and a 5th-round pick to get the most brittle running back in football. No true challengers to pass down work. Patrick Laird is teed up, man. We are good to go. Also, he changed his number, 42 to 32. He's now feeling more like a running back, less like a fullback. We got a book club coming up. I mean, what's not to like?
Everything's coming up, Laird.
Hey, I was 32 as my number as well. I was kind of sad that you didn't include me on those top 32s of all time.
Another thing is that Jordan Howard does not play special teams. So
I was about to say the saving grace for Patrick Laird would be special teams.
No, dude, stop. It's unbecoming.
He's got two running backs ahead of him.
This is a bad look. Kitchen. This is a bad look.
Well, listen,
you just don't want us to be happy, and that's fine.
And that's fine. We get it.
So, all right. So, Tuttle, do you think that take is a legit take or a bit take?
That Laird makes the roster?
Oh no, the take that Peter just gave about he's in a great spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a bit here.
Bit, yeah. That's a bit.
When have I ever done a bit about Patrick Laird? Ever?
That's just it's not related to your brand at all. I'll never forget when we did the first Laird cast. We're sitting there on Sunday morning, and Pete just goes, "I'm feeling spiritual. I'm feeling really spiritual right now." It was just a great moment in the history of Pete and I and Laird's friendship. Which is, like, by the way, like, honestly kind of a real friendship now, and it makes me feel really happy.
Levitan was pretty triggered when he saw Laird's book club tweet.
All right. I guess it's time for me to give my take on Derrick Henry, a.k.a. D. Hember. I think people were they were tired of me not talking about Derrick Henry last year. They were tired of me being right about Derrick Henry last year.
Yeah, you were really right.
Well, until I wasn't, which was kind of what I said. Until the Chiefs.
I was right until I wasn't.
Until I wasn't.
And that's the thing.
What you don't understand is that your nerdy numbers don't apply to Derrick Henry until they do, okay?
Well, here's the thing. Put this in your calculator, Davis. 6'3".
I'm putting it in my calculator.
Okay, 260.
Okay.
Running a 4.5 40.
Okay. Do you want me to divide or multiply that?
No, I want you to take some power. He's a power running back.
How many points did Kansas City score? What happened in that game at Arrowhead?
We get it, Davis. The team that won the Super Bowl, he had a bad game against him, but he also had an incredible run up until that point. And here's what's going to happen this year. They're going to start getting him the ball in the air more. If you looked,
oh my gosh, is this a boots on the ground take?
No, it's not boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. Kitchen has been viewing Derrick Henry's local workouts in Nashville.
I'm just going to quote In Harditz from Roto World. The most yards per target amongst all running backs with 50 targets since 2017. It's Eckler, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, and then Derrick Henry. If you don't think they're going to use him in that screen game where people do not want to tackle him, you are wrong. Derrick Henry, another top 5 running back this year. And you guys, I'm sure you'll say bit, but it's legit.
It's a good
bit,
and
it's not.
Dave, here's the thing. It's one of the only
here's the thing about my bit
is that
it's right. Is that it's right. That's the thing about my bit is that you guys, it's a bit for you to deny Derrick Henry's brutal greatness. All right, Tuttle, we know what these other two Yahoos say. What do you say about the Derrick Henry stuff?
I mean, I would say it was legit until they drafted Darrington Evans.
They were going to draft
the kid from Appalachian State, bro.
If anything, the fact that he's only got 1 year left on his deal, Titans just going to run that train.
How can they run that train even more than they did last season?
Well,
it would be very hard, right? It would be very
carries
hard.
a game, baby.
Yeah.
Imagine fading 40 carries a game for like 8 weeks in a row, and then the 1 week it doesn't happen against Kansas City, being like, I told you guys.
I'll take the under on 40 carries a game, and one, I can imagine it, but two, I just cancel the season at that point. If I'm getting railroaded by Derrick Henry in week 6, I'm going to be like praying for COVID to come back.
I mean,
go ahead. I was just going to say, I think the one thing we can all reach across the aisle and agree on is that AJ Brown's a grown-ass man.
Davis, are you on the AJ Brown train now?
When was I not?
Oh, he doesn't get any targets. How could you play him in contest?
He got like 86 targets, dude.
And what'd he do with them, Davis?
I remember fading him, and then he would just get like an end around for 90 yards.
And you just have a 70-yard run. And you'd be like, well, all right, guess that's how I'm gonna lose today. Good stuff.
And then the
even more like,
I told you guys, he's just so good.
Kitchen and Slack, just like, dude, my $12 single entry team, I got AJ Brown.
Oh,
Totally worth the $7,500 on DraftKings.
Are you taking a shot at Dave for playing micro stakes?
I was about to say, I can't even play micro stakes. Literally impossible for me to play micro stakes. Would have to get a significant other to do that.
Kitchen,
Holly, we're tagging her in.
Do you think this is a hot take? I think it's a hot take, but I think it's true. I think by this time next year, AJ Brown will be a top 5 dynasty startup pick.
That will not happen.
It's certainly possible as far as he's already, like, I tried to get him from Gretsch, and I offered a whole bunch of stuff to Gretsch for him, and he was like, oh, try again, buddy. Like, he's already, it's really hard to trade for him because of the asking price. But yeah, I think his stock is just trending up. And then they decline Corey Davis's 5th-year option, boots on the ground. He's the man.
Well, Corey Davis has declined playing football himself.
He's declined catching passes. Although they will throw that stat that he had 0 catchable passes 20 yards downfield last year. But whatever. All right, let's move on to the schedule release tonight. As far as like matchups you want to see with this schedule release, what are some like early season matchups that you want, Peter?
Isn't this thing going to be like 3 hours long?
Yes.
How are they going to draw it out that long?
How do we do a 60-minute
yeah,
podcast?
I was about to say, take some notes to NFL. Go for it, Peter. What are some matchups you want to see?
I'd love to see Cowboys versus Bengals. I mean, imagine an Andy Dalton revenge game. Dak gets hurt, fourth quarter. Dalton goes out there, leads the team to just a huge win over Burrow. I mean, that would just be
that would be a revenge game for me too, because the most money I've ever lost on a football game was wagering on the Bengals against my Dallas Cowboys in Bitcoin, when Bitcoin used to be worth about $400 per coin. And if I ever do the math on what that transaction cost me in real value, it'll cause me to go to a really dark place.
I mean, the chalk answer, right, is the Tampa Bay versus the Patriots.
New Orleans.
Two horrible quarterbacks. Like, there's going to be like 18 points scored in that game.
I was going to say Tampa Bay versus the Saints. I thought you would pick that, Peter, with the age, just like growing up with Brady and Breeze.
No, I want angry Tom. Do you guys know that Tom plays better when he's angry? I want angry Tom versus Stidham. Just both couple of, noodle arms out there, dinking it 10 yards down the field. For
all right, here's a good one. Ravens versus Titans. We just get Lamar's just been sitting there thinking, I freaking lost to Ryan Tannehill all offseason, and they come out with all of the firepower that they have and make things right for what happened.
Same firepower that produced like 7 points last.
Hey, wrong team won, bud. Wrong team won.
I mean, I hear you say that Kansas City stopped Derrick Henry, and then I'm also hearing you say that the Ravens should have beaten the Titans.
Correct. We got robbed of what would have been a historically great game between the Ravens and Chiefs in the AFC Conference Championship.
I don't think Earl Thomas wants that smoke from Derrick Henry again this year.
Earl Thomas, I think he's proven he's more than capable of handling literally any smoke without fear.
All right. Tuttle, what are some Green Bay games you want to see?
I just want to see him beat the Cowboys to watch Davis tilt.
Oh my God. Gosh. You have no idea.
That's the main. Can you just imagine Aaron Rodgers just
throws
up, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns? Will be glorious.
I can't imagine him do it. I can imagine.
I can't imagine Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns in a game.
See, this is why it would be just epic, though.
It would be AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon would just have like a real Greg Jennings put the team on his back performance in memoriam.
I want to see whoever the Broncos are going to play early on in the season, just to see Drew Lock go for like 303 and people like the fantasy analysts just tilt their balls off.
I still don't think he's a good NFL player, but he's fantasy viable. We've seen it with Josh Allen and Daniel Jones.
This is my favorite. Oh, it's just I wish I could tell you how funny I think this Dynasty Guy bit is. It's the funniest thing you've ever done, Peter. I would listen to a full podcast of you in jest being Dynasty Guy, but like in character.
The
It's so
love
good.
the talent, hate the landing spot was probably my favorite.
Ugh.
All right. What about the Chargers? Anybody want to see the Chargers play just so we can get,
literally no one. No one wants to
Nope.
see the Chargers play.
Chargers,
Good
Colts. I want to see angry Phil.
Yeah.
Do you think
Just yelling
all
across
Phillip
the
Rivers
sidelines.
actually wants is just to take a nap? Do you think if a magic genie could grant Phillip Rivers 3 wishes, do you think one of them would be like 2 hours away from his kids and his team to just take a nap? Imagine the Rivers household right now, 8 kids. I mean, his wife's probably pregnant, right? We have to just reasonably assume that she is. So it just can't be a good spot for
He's
Phillip
probably
Rivers.
in the driveway just hanging out in that retrofitted van that he used to drive up to practice. Just like, I just need some peace and quiet right now.
That's your
Tough
country.
scenes.
Is that your Phil Rivers
Yeah, you want me to
accent?
do it? Pretty
Yeah.
excited to swing the rock around to T.Y. Hilton. We got this guy, Michael Pittman, dude. Just a beast of a human. We get Jonathan Taylor. I'll put the ball in that boy's belly all day.
Well, gosh darn.
You didn't talk about his 2 tight end set with Trey Burton
Yeah,
and Jack
no,
Dole.
The only tight end I'm really used to is my wife's kitchen. I mean, I'll tell you what, boy, I get in there and I get those babies.
Does Phil Rivers actually talk like that?
No.
I've never heard him talk, I don't think.
When does that ever stop me from just launching into a?
Well, it's
impression
funny
I'm
because
very
there's that
confident
picture.
about?
There's that picture of him in the bolo tie.
Yeah, no, he
classic.
is from Arkansas.
Love
Is
it.
he?
Yeah,
I know he played at NC State. I didn't know he's from Arkansas though.
I think my
I knew
accent
he's
was a
I knew
little
he
more
was
Texan.
Southern.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Arkansas and Texas is pretty much the same accent.
it's all the same down there.
Mm. She's
True.
All right. Any other schedule takes before we move on? Because we got a next topic that is
Did you see Thorman's tweet about the schedule tonight?
no.
It was here, it'll just take me a half second to pull up. Thorman goes, let's see. Come on, Peter. Oh, ESPN Schefter goes, ESPN will air a 3-hour NFL schedule release show tonight, and Thorman goes, and painfully detail the worst thing that happened in each schedule's life.
I can't
Classic.
wait to see the 2019 defenses and how the strength of schedule for this upcoming season.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at this. Look at this team. They've got the easiest schedule on paper.
They have a super easy schedule, but I am worried about the rookies getting caught up to speed without as much OTAs and training camp
Oh,
this
that's going to
season.
be the hot take, or not? The
Oh,
hot
you
take.
know what I've heard though is a couple of my
ends.
sources have said a couple of my sources have said actually teams are more engaged than ever. Guys have really loved the ability in isolation to just focus on film and really just get in there one-on-one and talk with their coaches. What do you think, Pete?
We're definitely at the point now where someone could do a tweet that was like, CeeDee Lamb has been doing morning Zoom calls with Mike McCarthy, and I would push him up 4 spots in my rankings just on that news alone.
We're now seeing the DIY workouts and people like adjusting their rankings around the at-home workouts.
I saw McCole Hardman run 23 miles an hour, and
I
I
know.
moved him up 10 spots. That is 100% a fact. Do you
I
know how fast that is?
It
Do you know
doesn't
how
surprise me
fast
at all.
that is, dude? 23 miles an hour.
Smith moved up Tyreek Hill after seeing his core workout yesterday.
I had wanted to try that. I need someone to.
Can I say that I
You
don't
guys
think
talk.
you can? I don't think Peter can do it.
No, of course not. Like the fact
I
that
missed it.
Tyreek Hill basically was doing like reverse sit-ups. You'll see Peter do it.
I don't
now.
even.
You would like go down to the ground and then come
over.
up.
Yeah, so like he was doing push-ups, but with his core. Like if you can imagine that, like arms at his side,
Right.
someone's holding his legs, and he's going from the floor back up just using his core.
Man,
It was one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. Not as absurd as McCole Hardman running 23 miles an hour, though.
Dude, that team has so many weapons. It's unreal. How our defense is going to be able to handle them?
Dude. And you add Clyde Edwards-Helaire to the mix. I mean, it's not even fair for like
Sammy
how
Watkins.
are you supposed to game plan for that?
When Sammy Watkins is your 7th option, you know it's a good offense.
Pete, can we do a whole podcast as like disingenuous dynasty fantasy football touts?
Isn't that the take cast that y'all did last week?
Yeah, I'm gonna start charging.
Pete, we don't talk about fantasy football when Pete comes on the Takecast. That's for Sean. That's for Sean only.
All right. Speaking of not talking fantasy football, we've got the Korean baseball organization.
Say
KBO.
it with a straight face, Dave.
It's also it's not Korean. It's the Korea Baseball Organization. Check your privilege.
Sorry, Davis.
Check your privilege.
And don't you dare say their names in the English way.
No, so this is actually so tilting. I wish that on DraftKings they would just leave the names the way that they are on like all the other resources, but they try and anglicize
like
the
in
names
Korean instead of English.
No, they change the order of the names.
Yeah,
which is it's very frustrating when you're trying to go from confirmed lineup on one site and then you flip back to DraftKings and you're like, I have no idea if I'm selecting the right player or not.
Davis, I'm really sorry you're having to go through that, bud.
It's a big struggle for me right now.
What's your ROI early on in KBO, Davis?
I won the $50 GPP on the first day. And then, but last night I woke up at 4:00 in the morning to adjust my lineups. What I told Tuttle I was going to do was just like set my lineups with like probables. But then I liked my lineup too much, so I entered a bunch of contests, and I was like, well, if I actually play real volume, I gotta wake up and check. And then I woke up and
liked your lineup too much.
Classic Ben Pritchett, by the way. Classic Ben Pritchett moment of being like, dude, I love this spot for Kiwoom.
Well,
I don't care if he bets 1 or 8. I'm gonna roll with it.
Davis in Slack yesterday after 2 days of KBO. Well, the lineup seemed pretty consistent after a 2-day sample size, and then day 3 comes and all hell breaks loose.
Everything's blown up. I think most teams have 2 catchers because like obviously the talent level there is not as extreme, especially so like hitting catchers are just not a thing, and I think they mostly just rotate catchers every other day.
I hear they're still pretty talented.
Yeah, that's the thing about the KBO in 2020. Like most teams are employing a catcher by committee now, and it's just kind of the new normal.
It's really tough. It's really tough in your seasonal drafts.
I do want to get on this piling on Davis about KBO stuff because Davis, I invited him to play poker the other night, and he's like, I'm really trying to establish better habits, like less screen time at night. And he's setting his alarm at 4 a.m. to swap out KBO lineups. This can't all be a part of the same master plan, Davis.
See, I'm actually proud of him for that. I'm proud that he's taking initiative.
You think he stays up, though, after he wakes up at 4 a.m.?
No, you goes back to bed. Just go right back to bed.
Here, I'll even show you guys. I didn't even have to change the name of my alarm because I already had it in there as A-League Showdown. So
see, I'm proud of him.
You're out. Yeah. You're outworking me in KBO, bro.
Right.
Literally, I'm Peter, literally outworking you.
You're getting outworked in pretty much everything except for Dynasty Bits, bud.
TikTok by Mark Cuban.
Dude,
Yikes.
Mark Cuban's daughter, to be fair.
I will completely admit, there was a stretch there for about 3 or 4 weeks where I was getting outworked. I was feeling kind of lazy. I was getting sucked into League of Legends, Dynasty startup drafts, but I'm back, baby. I got the content flowing. I'm ready to battle in them streets.
All right. Do you have anything for MMA? You have thing for MMA right now?
Oh, yeah. It's a huge card Saturday. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje. I mean, these guys are both. It's a bloodbath, Dave. I mean, these guys don't want to go to the mat. All right, the number of takedowns a minute that Justin Gaethje is absorbing is ridiculous. Roto-Grinders, we've got a great premium package. Check it out. We just did a video show. Brett Appley and Head Chopper breaking down the card. Super stoked.
Appley is legit. I might come out of DraftKings retirements.
Do you have money left on there?
It's Appley.
I've thought it was Appleby this whole time. I'm not.
I got it right, and I have been known to mess up a few Roto-Grinders names on this show before.
Okay. All right, so I need a couple questions answered. First, where are these fights taking place?
Florida. Everything good right now happens in Florida.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. So Tuttle, you've
that
played
is interesting.
You've played tennis, right?
Yeah.
Tennis DFS.
Yeah.
Is like the MME strategy very similar? Like don't use over 49,000 total. Try and use more underdogs and stuff like that.
Yeah. I actually played tennis more than MMA, so I don't have the
I've
MMA
never
side
played
on.
MMA DFS before.
I assume it's similar though. Yeah. Leave lots of salary. You want knockouts. That's what you want. You want the guys that are just going to go at it. You don't want the guys that are going to go the whole 3 rounds or 5 rounds.
Like you want aces and straight sets in tennis.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And the other interesting wrinkle is all of the fights except the co-main and the main event are 3-round fights, and those 2 are 5-round fights. So there can be a little bit of merit into using 2 guys from the same match if you think they're both going to exchange a ton of strikes.
Are they doing a GLA from CS:GO?
Nope, they don't do.
I believe the live scoring will be locked in, and it's probably not some funny business, but it does seem what will be interesting is that main event with Gaethje and Ferguson is going to be super high owned. It looks like Roto Grinders has both of those guys at like 40+%. So you kind of have to make some tough decisions. I think if you get unique, you maybe use both of them, or you have to fade it because one of those guys is going to be mega chalk in every lineup.
So that fight is going to have the floor that we talk about for cash games. I haven't actually looked into the fight, so I don't know how aggressive those guys are, but technically
look at Peter,
speaking,
though. That was legit. That wasn't even a bit. That was legit.
Legit or a bit. I like to keep you guys on your toes.
You should do some MMA stuff on your TikTok. I just opened up TikTok for the first time in a while, and tough scene here as Peter Poverzet has 47 followers.
Oof.
47. He's been grinding.
You know who's outworking Peter the hardest on TikTok? Joe Holka. Joe Holka. I mean, you want to talk about getting outworked, dude. He's dunking on you with like his 4th account.
Peter's best video, I think in 2020 is the video that he took of me working out.
I knew you were going to say my best video is the one that featured you. Actually, don't I have 2 featuring you? Your apple bottom jeans too.
Oh yeah, that's the other one.
Honestly, he's just got to get his wife on there in skimpy clothes, do some of those dances, and then get the follower count up.
I don't like horny Tuttle coming back while talking about my wife.
Every day is an adventure, Pete.
I mean, that's all TikTok is, except she would be probably like 20 years older than the
I think TikTok is like it is not good. I'm gonna say TikTok is overall is not good.
Welcome to adulthood, Davis Maddock.
I mean, like I spend all my time on the most toxic phone app of all time. Like Twitter just will like turn you into a
gathering of negativity.
I mean it's the worst. So I guess I can't really say anything. But I mean, also maybe I just don't get TikTok. I'm too old.
I would if I had a daughter, I would not let her post anything on TikTok.
Yeah, correct.
To be fair to Tuttle's point, half of TikTok is girls showing midriff, like doing dances in tight yoga pants. Totally true. But there are actually a bunch of good comedic bits.
That's closer to 75%. That's like 75%.
It's like Vine.
There's great articles in Playboy. I get it.
The 15% dog TikTok is really good, though.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Are there a lot of dogs on TikTok?
Yes. If you just go and just like all the dog videos, and you'll get a good For You page that is all dogs.
Dude, my St. Bernard could own TikTok. She's so funny.
There you go.
Maybe that's a good. Oh man, I can out hustle Peter so hard.
Wow, you really turned the corner on what you thought about TikTok there.
Well, if I can make a quick buck, dude, you know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. All right.
It was a wake-up call seeing those 2 kids that are like 18 that have 360,000 TikTok followers doing a fantasy football content. Tough scene for me.
And them owning you?
They do.
What can you do?
All right. Closing thoughts.
Guys, we did not talk about the KBO very much.
It's because Peter wanted to jump in. Like, I don't know what else you want to talk. How do you want to talk about the KBO?
There's not much to say. Nobody strikes anybody out. Nobody hits home runs.
Davis, why don't you use your closing thought on the KBO?
There you go. I don't have a closing thought, so Davis, you can take both of ours. and just talk about the KBO.
Well, I don't exactly know how to leverage this yet, but the ownerships are absurd
Outrageous.
in this sport. Like we were talking like 50% owned hitters in baseball. Like I think that you might be able to like be theoretically profitable like at equilibrium if you just literally was like, what is going to be the two lowest owned teams and stack them with the two best pitchers every day. And like, we're not controlling for anything else.
I actually agree with that. The Latte Giants the last 2 days. Worst team in the league last year.
Worst team in the league, but they, 18 runs the last 2 days? Yeah.
My new band name is going to be Theoretically Profitable at Equability. What'd you say? At
Equilibrium. I've been listening to a lot of poker
Equilibrium.
Podcasts. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Theoretically. All right, Peter, closing thoughts?
About the KBO?
No.
I mean, you missed an opportunity for this to be your brand. I even did the logo for you.
I tweeted. I told you I was too exhausted to do a KBO bit. I just
too many Zoom happy hours with Lauren.
He's gonna jump right into the MMA thought leader.
It also it's a lot of the bits being done about KBO right now are vaguely racist. So I thought I'd leave that to everybody else.
Yes, that you make a great point. How many Kims can I get in one lineup?
And they changed their voice just a little bit too.
Yeah. Ugh.
My advice if you're playing KBO, and man, I got to dust off this take. Haven't said it in a while. Just play the best plays, guys. Just play the best plays.
No, actually, don't do that because the best plays are literally like 70% owned at tournaments, and therefore are terrible plays.
Well, I haven't been playing, but is what happening similar to what happened with XFL, where Sammy Coates was 70% owned the first week because everyone just knew his name?
Yeah.
No, because
to some extent.
But the guys you know their names are crushing in this. like they're all like all of the so like there are every team has 3 rough American or South American players, and they've all been crushing, like unilaterally have been crushing. So
Devin said Dixon Machado MVP.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, he had a home run. Yeah.
All right.
Former Detroit Tiger goat.
So Peter, any closing thoughts from you? Legit thoughts?
No, just be safe out there. Wash your hands. Wear a mask if you are going out in public. But do get outside, though. Get some time away from the screen. Rejuvenate. And call your parents. Check in on them. That's
legit or a bit?
Legit.
That's legit for sure. I know.
I'm going golfing on Sunday. I've had enough, man. I have been cooped up. I'm going golfing.
That's brave announcing that in these parts, David.
I thought you were about to say in these uncertain times, and I was going to get so triggered.
These unprecedented times is what I say.
What's next? You going to order a pizza online too, Davis?
Yeah.
I have ordered a pizza online also.
Hey, stay away from the murder hornets, bro. I will say that the video of the guy getting stung by the murder hornet.
I haven't seen that.
It's so this guy's whole account.
This guy's account is being stung, and then like describing it as he's being stung by certain things, and
he let a snapping turtle bite him.
Like, Peter, you missed out, man. This
would have been a whole day for you.
This would have been great for
Wait, how did I miss this? What was I doing?
I don't know, but he's like the cameraman's like, you got to describe it. He's like, oh, it's rushing pain up my arm. Like, and he's like, they show his arm like.
You guys are killing me. I have to pee so bad, and now you're making me laugh. You're dragging the ending out. You're making me laugh. Can we
get a murder hornet to Peter? It would be so good.
It would be really good.
As the meme says, murder hornets. You mean Baskin bees? Have you seen that meme?
That sounds terrible.
Kitchen showing the age
and
there.
On that note,
Kitchen just watched Tiger
it's a terrible
King.
meme. Yeah.
Kitchen watched
2 months later than everybody
week.
else.
Stop. I watched it when it first came out. That's why I didn't get to. You guys were like late on it because you were playing like DK whatever it was, League of Legends.
That's true. That's actually true. I was late because I spent like 2 days learning about League of Legends.
I was just soaking up. I'm a cultured guy. I'm just soaking it all up. All right. Thanks to Dan, Davis, and Peter for doing the Swolecast. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but we'll be back next week. So on behalf of these guys, head on over to Roto Grinders, get the core package, lots of sports. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Tyson Fresh Meats se compromete a tomar medidas de precaución adicionales para proteger a nuestro equipo. A todas las personas como ellos, que son responsables de llevar los alimentos de las granjas y ranchos de todo el país a su mesa, les agradecemos y estamos con ustedes.